Hello, I'm Jeff Belanger.
And I'm Ray Auger.
You are Ray Auger.
I got nervous for all of a sudden because I
Okay.
saw myself and I saw the live and I saw me on video and I saw how pale I look. So I got really nervous. But now I'm okay.
You feeling okay?
I'm good now. How are you?
I'm pretty good, Ray. Thanks for joining me tonight. This is a different kind of show. We want you to be the guest, not you, Ray. I mean, you watching.
Oh,
we yeah. Well, that was a good run. That was a good 34 seconds. So if you guys are watching live, please jump in. Tell us where you're watching. Tell us what you're drinking. Ray, what are you having tonight?
I am having a Captain's Daughter double IPA. That'll put me to sleep tonight.
Good.
And this is from Gray Sail Brewing in Rhode Island, Westerly, Rhode Island.
Okay, wonderful. I'm going with the beer of pure irony tonight.
The Corona. You know what? It's a whole mind thing, but I'm afraid to drink Corona. I don't want to drink Corona. And I normally would. Ray. Oh, cheers. I love the graphics. You know, I base my beer selection now on the labels. Tang. So when I go shop for beer, I love IPAs. I love double IPAs.
Right.
So I will base it on the artwork. And then I collect them. If you can see behind me, I've got a few up there. But that's what I've been basing my alcohol choices on.
Good evening, John. Good evening, Carl, over there in the UK. Thanks for watching us. So if you guys want to call in, Sydney down under, coffee. Thanks, Grant.
Put another shrimp on the barbie.
They love that. When you go down, I've been down there. They love it. They love it. They're like, do the thing. And Joe's having Jim Beam. So there's our number, 617-444-9683. We're going to try this tonight. We can take call. Oh, someone's calling right now. Hold tight. Here we go.
I'm excited.
Hello from the 860. Who's there?
Hey, Jeff. This is Gary from Middletown, Connecticut. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Gary. How about you?
Oh, we're doing great over here. First time, long time.
Oh. I love that.
First time for us.
Oh, I got to put you on speaker. Lauren, too. You know her.
I do. You're our first caller ever.
We are. Awesome. I'm very happy to hear that. We were just talking about it. It's like, okay, if we get through, what ridiculous story can we tell you guys?
Okay, hold tight. I got to tell people. So if you try to call right now, you're going to go right to voicemail. Anyone else who's calling, not you, Gary, you're obviously already on. So if you call and it goes right to our voicemail, please wait for the current call to end and then jump in and keep trying. And and we'll get to as many people as we can. So
we'll take caller number 5.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, good to hear from you guys.
Yeah, thanks. So are you guys taking stories or what?
Yeah, please fire away. Give us what you got.
All right. I want to go back to when I was about 21 years old and first started ghost hunting. You know about the Maud's grave, of course, right? In Volatile, Connecticut?
No, tell us.
Oh, okay. Well, Maud's grave, there's a story about a girl in Volatile, Connecticut who, there's a lot of stories, a lot of myths. It's obviously not true. It's, of course, she was a witch, whatever. And they say that she haunts her grave. Now, it's on a place called Hell Hollow Road. So, you know, that I think might add a little bit to the story. There's about 3 or 4 different ghosts around that area that people talk about. There's Maud, of course. There's the colonial ghost who patrols Breakneck Hill Road. And there's supposedly a woman who cries over her murdered family. So we were going there to look for Maud's grave, me and 3 friends. And it was night and it was woods. And I didn't really know where I was going. So we ended up getting lost in the woods, ended up at a cornfield, which was very muddy. A farmer came out. We ran away, got lost again, came out to a road. Had to call my brother at 3 a.m.
This sounds like a horror movie. He's
writing a script as we listen. Right? He's writing a script.
So he was able to give us directions through MapQuest, if anyone actually still remembers what that is. We won't question what he was doing at 3 a.m. when he was 13 years old on the internet, but he says he was playing video games. Anyway, we did manage to find our way back. We didn't think we caught anything, but the very next day we were checking the audio and we got an EVP of a woman crying. The one thing we weren't really looking for.
Wow.
So it was a long night. We got lost and it was hot and sweaty and we ended up with actually good evidence. It was crazy.
That's really
a great story.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. And thanks for being our very first caller ever.
Well, thanks for having me, Jeff. I really appreciate it. You have a great show.
All right, you two guys, take care. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Anyone else out there? You're not the first now. Gary's taking care of it. Thanks for say hi to Lauren too. I know she was there in the background. Thank you. That's awesome. So that's it. Who else has a story? Who wants to say hi to us? Who wants to tell us how you're doing? Go ahead and call. The lines are open. 617-444-9683.
Gary was writing a horror movie script right there.
Well, I wonder how many people are just kind of jotting down. Jennifer's in the Bridgewater Triangle. No good stories.
No good stories.
Well,
just the fact that you live there, though,
yeah,
is a great story.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
maybe though she's been abducted many times and then had the mind sweep. So maybe she's got plenty of stories. She doesn't remember them.
That could definitely be it. So that's cool. Wow, we had our first call, right? That was it. And I know Gary's listened to the podcast for a long time, as he said. And funny story, Gary helped me with a Robin Hood story that we did. Remember Robin Hood?
Oh, yeah.
Of Westboro.
Who knew Robin Hood was from New England?
Oh, we got another call. All right. Whoop, and they hung up. They chickened out. Someone from the 203. That's Connecticut. So call back. It's all right. Keep trying.
I hope my wife doesn't call from upstairs to ask for I need something out of the freezer downstairs. Can you bring up some meat?
Wait a minute.
Just ruin the show.
I know who called. Oh, there it is. There it is again. From the 203. Who do we have on the line?
This is John Judd.
John.
Hey, John Judd. How are you, John?
How's it going, guys?
First time, long time.
Are you spamming our show?
I just might be. Hey, I can barely hear Ray on this. He's kind of getting a little dissed on the volume there.
Just on the call?
That's me turned down.
Just on the call. On the when I was on the YouTube, it was just fine.
All right, very good. So for those who don't know, John Judd composes, writes, performs all the music for not only the New England Legends podcast, but the New England Legends television series, which is kind of cool. So thank you, John, for calling in.
Well, I have a question I have several questions and then a little story.
Okay. Don't take all our time, John.
So I want to know why light beer doesn't get any love at all.
Why light? I used to love Coors Light. So I drank that constantly, but it would be 18, 19, 20 of those, that I would drink in one sitting to get that good buzz. And it went right to my stomach, obviously. John's enjoying that. So now, if I have a double IPA, I only need 2 of them to feel like I've succeeded.
After quarantine, though, you're probably needing 3 or 4.
That's true. Yeah.
Tolerance has gone up.
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful, poignant question, John, about light beer. What else you got?
Okay. I already forgot my other question.
Oh, good.
So I do have another story, though. So get this.
Okay.
Once upon a time in high school, you and I sat down with a Ouija board.
Oh, yeah, I believe you.
Okay, so we sat down with a Ouija board.
Sounds like me.
I don't
checks out.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So you were getting into all this paranormal stuff, and I had already seen Ed and Lorraine Warren do their thing, and I kind of knew what it was, and we did the Ouija board, and I'm telling you that thing moved.
Yeah.
What is that thing called? I can't remember.
Planchette.
The piece moved.
The planchette. Yeah, the little table. Yeah.
It moved. And I was like, this dude is so full of it. I'm going home.
You moved it, Jeff.
Can't both things be true? Can't I be so full of it and the planchette moved? Isn't that a possibility?
Indeed. So to this day, I need to know. I've never asked you, I don't think. So tell me.
John, no, I didn't push
move it.
So look, I am all for a prank, a good prank. Absolutely. But a good prank requires you to say, gotcha. Right? Like doing a prank without the, hey, I got you is not a prank. Like that's just, I don't even know what that is.
Now would be the time to do it though.
Okay. Hey, John.
After 30 years.
Yeah. Right.
Surprise.
well, maybe you were playing, think about it, you were playing the long game on this one.
Oh, I wish I could do that.
John, I no, I was. This is like Dumb and Dumber 2 or 3, like where he's in the. No.
And I'm too old right now. If I started the long game now,
I remembered my other question, and it was actually a serious one for Ray. I want to know, did he go to like broadcasting school or one of those things, and did he know he was going to be this when he was like 18 years old?
Well, I sure as hell wasn't going to be a doctor or a lawyer or anything like that. So I had I was very skeptical about going to college. I ended up at Dean Junior College in Franklin, Mass, and I took the radio and video course, and I loved it. And my first year was all about video, and then the second year at GAO, that was the station there, I fell in love with radio, and that was it. And I never looked back. I mean, I had other jobs.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wait, John, as a special treat before you go, Ray, do the voice of Kid Cruz. The first time Ray interviewed me, his name was not Ray Auger. It was Kid Cruz. And he didn't talk like he did. This is Ray's normal voice. He just has a very pleasant, normal voice. But he talked. Right. Come on, lay it on me. Come on, give me a
1490 WMRC. On the phone with me right now, Jeff Belanger, author, lecturer, wanderer. I don't know what I called you back then, but welcome to the show, Jeff. How you doing?
Good morning there, Kid Cruz. It's great to be here and checking the weather, checking the traffic.
Thank God I never got that bad.
No,
I did. I started off horrible. I listen to old tapes. They were horrible. And I'm not much better now, but
no, he's got it down. John, thank you for calling. We love you.
I love it. Well,
thanks,
thank
John.
you for having me.
All right.
Guys, have a good night.
You too.
You too.
All right, who's
guy
next?
Right there.
Lines are open. What happened?
That guy's a big part of the show.
A huge part.
We can't undersell John at all. I mean, he sets the theme, the tone. That's when you first hear that music come in. Boom. God bless radio guys.
Yeah, that's Tim Ellis. Tim has done voices for some of our podcasts. Messed up but pleasant folk. Tim's got that.
So true.
Tim, you should call in and give us some of that boss jock voice. Do it, Tim. It's 617-444-9683. You could call in, Tim, and just give us your best boss jock. Good morning from Sault Ste. Marie. I can't even do it, but you should hear the pipes on this guy. Come on, Tim. Do it. Do it. Call. Wait, I could call him. Ray, say stuff while I look up his number.
just so you can hear the boss jock. Oh, somebody's calling.
Someone's calling in.
Nobody talks like that anymore on the radio, by the way.
Hello from the 860. A lot of Connecticut. Who's on tonight?
Hi, Jeff. It's Lauren Middleton. I don't want to take up all your screen time with Middleton.
That's our second Middletons from Middletown.
Okay, is that okay?
Of course, it's okay.
Okay, I have an interesting story from my very old days of ghost hunting. It's humorous. We were out at the site of the East Thompson, Connecticut train wreck late at night, probably 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And we're walking down the trail to the site, and all of a sudden, this massive light lights up the woods around us, and I see a gun in my face. I say, "What's going on?" And the gentleman was convinced that we were terrorists that wanted to take his land.
Okay.
And it took about 3 hours to convince him that we were not terrorists. And finally, he accepted that we were paranormal investigators. And we did not end up a lampshade in his garage. So yeah, it was a very interesting evening. So that's my story.
So you almost died for the cause.
Yes, exactly. I mean, he was much nicer afterwards, and he said he'd take us in the woods, but just ask permission, even though it was public land that we were on. You know how it is.
Fair enough. Well, thank you, Lauren. Thanks for calling in.
Oh, no problem. Have a good night. Thank you.
Too. Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
Lauren.
All right. Wait, I'm gonna just call Tim.
You're gonna call him?
I think I can.
That story scared me. I don't know if I would follow the man in the house just because his tone changed after a gun in the face. That makes me nervous right there. And then let's go in the woods. I'll show you around. Look at the ditches I've dug in the last couple days.
All right, we're trying
Get
to call
inside. They're
Tim.
really deep.
Tim,
What?
pick up the phone.
Okay.
We're trying to get him on the phone right here. Tim, pick it up. Pick it up, Tim.
You're so excited, Jeff.
It probably says unknown caller because.
Eagle 95.1, you're caller number 5. You won the tickets to tonight's show.
Yes,
Congratulations.
it's the boss jock himself, Tim Ellis.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
I don't have a
hi.
beer. I feel left out. I don't have a beer.
It's your problem.
Sorry, we were just taking a sip of ours.
It is, because I did it up too much last night. So I'm taking a break tonight so I can get at it again tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Radio guys.
Okay, Tim is a radio guy. He's got an amazing voice. He's helped us on several of our podcast episodes. Tim, I know you got a ghost story because you're a paranormal investigator and have been for a long time. You've written books because I wrote the foreword, which was pretty awesome
Yes,
to me,
you did.
if I had to be perfectly frank about it. Give us a story, a quick one.
Rumor has it we still have enough blackmail on you to write something for our second book coming out.
Yeah, I heard that, and I'm waiting for the...
Yeah.
Go for it.
You put me on the spot. I don't know a ghost story. I mean, I know ghost stories, but I don't have one ready to go.
All right, well, then this was a good call. I'm just going to hang up on you.
All right, fair enough. Prank caller.
Prank caller. Thank you, Tim. Love you.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
All right,
Thanks.
The lines are open, 617-444-9683. Ray, is this like the old days of radio where people called in?
Yeah, nobody calls anymore. People don't call into radio shows. Busy, I don't know, or they're afraid to be on the radio. I have a hard time with that.
Yeah,
I
well,
do.
you're not on the radio. You're on the internet, just with a phone.
No, I'm talking about when I am on the radio. I
When
think
you
you're
are on
asking me a radio question.
Sorry about
Maybe
that.
you want to call your friend back and ask him about radio.
No, he's told me the same stuff. Like, I mean, the stories you've told me, like, yeah, he goes through the same thing where it's different, right? Like people
It's
are just
different. It's still good though. People are listening. They don't want. You know what? They text me a lot, and I get a lot of messages on Facebook.
We're getting a call.
That sound means I have to shut up.
Hello, you're live on the Speakeasy. Who's this? Where are you from?
It's Joe from Middletown, Connecticut.
Joe from Middletown. I think we've heard from half of Middletown tonight now.
Yeah,
put
well,
that in the
we love
paper?
you so much.
Joe, thanks for calling.
Anyway, so in Farmington, you're awesome.
Thank you. It's nice to be told we're awesome. Thanks for having drinks with us. I know you're in here a lot with us and appreciate it.
Every night.
Do you have a story for us?
Guntown
Yes.
Cemetery in Naugatuck.
Yep, been there.
We've been there a few times at 3 a.m. for the weekends, so on all.
Yes.
So I'm filming one night, and from within the ground, I feel boom, boom, boom. Completely freaked me out. In all my paranormal adventures, it's the only time I freaked out.
Yeah. No, at the Guntown, there's supposed to be like a phantom horse there, right? Like people hear like the horse hooves at night and
We
things like that, right?
EVP, spirit box, everything that night. It's always a crowded house there.
That's really cool. Awesome. Well, Joe, thanks for calling in and sharing that story. We hope to get to a lot more callers.
Excellent, man. Love the Speakeasy. Keep doing them. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Joe. Take care. All right. We had a question from Carl wants to know. I'm going to leave this to you, Ray. What's your worst interview experience on the radio? I mean, get like the teeth pulling or the guest that wouldn't leave.
You know what it always is? It's when the salespeople at the radio station want to put a client on, and the client doesn't want to go on, but they force it. It's going to be okay. Just go on.
You don't
It's going to be
want them
fine.
on either, right?
There's no point in talking about oil changes. It's how much are we going to talk about? And they get on. They're just one word answers, and you're trying to pull at least 5 minutes out of them. Those are the worst, and they do happen from time to time. But you got to do it, and I have no problem doing it. It's just those are the tough ones.
Yeah.
Or trying to get someone off the air too.
Do you want to tell the Eddie Money story? He's dead. He can't sue you or anything anymore.
Oh, too soon, Jeff. Too soon.
Is it still-
Eddie Money was on my radio show up in New Hampshire, and he was only supposed to do a segment, 10 or 15 minutes. We talked to him, have fun at the casino ballroom tonight, blah, blah, blah. And then go to break. We're doing our prep. Eddie's not leaving. Oh, Eddie, we're going to go back on the air. All right, why don't you stick around for one more? And this went on for 4 breaks. So a full hour of Eddie Money. We finally had to say, we got to move on to like dumb criminals in the news. We have to move on, Eddie.
Right.
Goodbye. But he was awesome. He was so awesome. Who does that? No celebrities do that. I mean, it was Eddie Money after his heyday, so he had nothing else to do.
Totally.
What was that? I missed that post. Was that a good one?
No, just sharing
Comment.
a story. Hey, someone from the 413 just called. Try again, 413. Do it again. It just missed, but it is open. The phone lines are open. And we lost Ray. Ray's gone.
No, the lighting's bugging me.
Is it?
Sorry.
Oh, I can see you. I can see.
Yeah, no,
Batman
I've got
behind
some. Oh, you can see my Batman.
Yeah, well done.
That is the Swizzle Inn in Bermuda. And the funny thing is, I found that at a yard sale here. But we did go there like 5, 6, 7 years ago. We have a call, Jeff. We have a call.
Okay.
Caller number 1. You're on the air.
From the 413, who's this? Where you from?
Hi, Richmond, Massachusetts.
Yay! What's that?
Hey, good. It's Michael Esposito. I met you over in Butcher County for your show.
Oh, awesome. Well, thanks, Michael. Thanks for calling in.
County
Thanks for
fair?
listening.
You're welcome. I have a ghost story to tell you guys.
Go ahead.
You know where Shades of Belanger is over in Sheffield?
No, I don't.
It's right across the way. It's not far from the covered bridge, the UFO covered bridge.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yep. All right. I know what you're talking about now. Yep.
Over there, I was over in the fields, and I had a ghost come up to me. I literally felt somebody on my back.
Whoa.
Ooh.
And then what happened?
And I was still walking, and it looked like it was a red coat.
No kidding. That's kind of cool. Like, what a historic interaction. Yeah. Have you been back since?
Yes, I have, and I always get 3 scratches on my back from him.
3 scratches.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe avoid it for a while.
Maybe don't go back.
Maybe.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, cool story. Thank you for calling and thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it. And nice to hear from you again.
Okay, thanks, Jeff.
All right. Take care, guys. Oh, guys, that's just one. That was Michael. Thanks for calling.
I think I would accept the 3 scratches one time, and I don't know if I'd go back.
Yeah. So you know what? I actually get it. Because I think about places where I've had profound experiences, like Waverly Hills in Louisville, Kentucky. When I got the chance to go back there, I was like running in. I'm like, I want more of that. I mean, it's like a rush, you know. And nothing happened the second time. So
what happened the first time?
Well, the first time we were on the 3rd floor. We saw this man walk out of one of the rooms, and we had already like just cleared the whole thing out. And this man just stepped into the hallway and was looking at us and then just stepped back. And we're like, what? So we raced to the room, and the only 2 ways out was either in the hallway where we were, which we would have seen, or out the 3rd story window. And Ray, like the whole place just felt electric all night. It was just, it's hard to describe, but it was like buzzing.
But he didn't punch you in the eye or anything.
No, I didn't get assaulted. Just felt a little freaked out.
I would run back to the Conjuring house if we had a chance to go there again, because we had that little experience. That didn't scare me at all. I'd love to go back.
Right. So, and if you got scratched, I don't know, wouldn't you go?
No.
Oh,
No.
all right. Well, our lines are open, 617-444-9683. And it's so funny. I wish you guys could see how we have cobbled this together. There's like, we've got windows open and it's our Google Voice.
It's you.
It's
all
our
you.
And there's duct tape and bubble gum that's just holding this thing together, but we're making it work, and it's pretty cool to hear from you guys. You know, I recognize some of the names, and it's nice to have some voices to the faces. So
I think that's what I love about radio as well, is that you can't see what's happening behind the scenes. So you can be playing sound effect on the cart machine over here, and music from the CD player and something off the computer, and it just sounds so good, but looks so awkward when you're trying to move things around.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, whoever just called us from the 781, try again. For some crazy reason, like it's like a miss on the first time. Just do it again. Where's 781? That's Massachusetts.
Is it?
Yeah, right. Then that's north of Boston.
I grew up with the 508 and the 617, and that's all I remember.
Yeah, well, we're getting represented from. We had Connecticut. There it is again. Let's see if we got it. All right. From the 781. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, good evening, Jeff and Ray. This is Darren. I'm calling from Melrose, Massachusetts.
Yeah, hey, Darren.
Tonight?
Good, thanks. Thanks for calling in.
Oh, no, you're very welcome. I was going to say my son and I met you last spring up at the cryptozoology conference up in Maine.
I remember that. Yes. He was big into the crypto stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but I just wanted to give you a call and share a ghost story with you.
Okay. Please.
And so the past 20 years, I've worked in historic house museums. So I spent a lot of time in, all these old structures. And I was working at a house on the North Shore of Boston that had a strong Revolutionary War connection.
Yep.
Now, it belongs to a nonprofit, and they don't really want to publicize their haunting. And I had no idea that there was anything going on there until after I had been there for some time. Now, this property was the home of someone who wound up right at the beginning of the war. He wound up dying due to pneumonia. He was in charge of the local militia. He was a very wealthy guy. So none of his papers exist to this day. It's almost as though everything was systematically destroyed. Mostly everything that people know about this figure is through people who he had done business with. Whereas like a lot of his contemporaries, you'll find thousands of documents, but this guy, there's absolutely nothing. So anyways, this is where I'm doing my internship. The historic building is closed off in the winter months. Never had permanent heating put in like a lot of the houses old houses here in the Northeast. And so my supervisor asked me if I would get a couple boxes of textiles, put them over in storage up on the third floor of this mansion. So gave me a key and alarm code, sent me on my way. So open up the building, disarm it, close the door behind me, deadbolt goes across, take everything upstairs and put it up in storage up on the third floor in this textile storage room.
Right.
Well, for a class I was taking at the time, I decided to go into another one of the third floor bedrooms, and they had Delft tiles around the fireplace. So I was making a note in a notebook about some of the different images that are on these tiles, when all of a sudden a woman walked into the doorway. So I turned and looked, and nobody was there. And so, I know without question I saw someone. So I follow her out into the hallway, and none of the motion lights had been tripped.
Very cool.
But I know without question that I saw someone.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I decided it's a good time to get out of there.
Right.
So I go downstairs. I'm able to alarm the building, so I know no one is still walking around. Alarm it, lock it, and go to the other property. And, my supervisor asked me how things had gone, told everything was fine. And after about 5 minutes, I'm like, you're not going to believe me. You're going to think I'm nuts. But I saw someone inside the mansion.
Yeah.
So she asked me if I saw a guy or a woman. And as soon as I said it was a woman, she started clapping. And she's like, this is fantastic. She goes, she's like, I just got a free lunch. She had a bet with another one of the women that worked at this place that I would see the ghost, because over the past century, dozens of people have seen her, but every single one of them was male between the ages of 15 and 30. So at the time, I happened to fall into that bracket. And she described exactly what this woman looked like. Most people had seen the same exact thing that I had seen, but she told me that a handful of people had seen more of a residual haunt in that same space. And what they saw was a woman fitting the same description, sitting in a big wing chair in front of the fireplace, feeding papers into a raging fire.
Wow.
And they think that was possibly the widow of the gentleman who lived at this house, burning every scrap of evidence that would prove that he was a traitor to the British.
That's so I love that. So you actually had validation through someone else describing what they saw, right? So suddenly you're like, oh my God, yeah, that was what I saw. I mean, that's huge, right? That's so suddenly in your head, you're not, well, was I mistaken? But then when someone does that, that's really cool. Cool story.
Well, yeah, well, thank you. And it just kind of, made me realize like all the different things that had happened in my life that I was like, that was kind of strange, but there has to be some type of, sensible reason behind it. I always thought that, there was some reason, but now after that happened, I was like, okay. And I started looking back at all these other random things that had happened in my life. And like, no, there really is no reasonable explanation. Like I have witnessed things.
Yeah.
And since then, being in historic houses, I'm constantly paying attention. And there's been all sorts of other bizarre things that have happened, some which, I can debunk, but some of them are just straight out bizarre and there's no way you can do so.
Very cool. Well, hey, thank you for calling and sharing that story. And go ahead.
Thank you very much. And no, I was just going to say thank you both very much. I really appreciate it and enjoy the speakeasies.
Yeah. Thanks for calling. All right. Take care.
You got it. Have a good
Bye-bye.
All right. So that was cool. Joe, do you think that's like a recorded moment in time, or do you think this is something intelligent? It's tough to tell, right? I mean, you don't really know. Joe also noticed you finished your beer.
I did.
So did I. Do you have round 2 ready?
I got to go get it. Can I take a step out for a second?
For beer? Yeah, you can.
Can we go to a commercial break?
Yeah. You know what? So I didn't know how clunky it would be. Go now, quick. So I had this graphic made up for when things got clunky, and we had to like connect a caller. So I made that up. But the lines are open, 617-444-9683. If someone else wants to jump on in, we'd love to hear from you. Try again. Whoever just called from the 517. I don't know why it does that, but try again, and we'll get you on for sure.
Back.
Yes, he's back. All right, good.
Heck of a time with my lighting tonight. I'm sorry.
You look fine. You look great. I mean, this is on a wing and a prayer here.
Sure.
Hello from the 517. What's your name? Where are you from?
This is Suzette, Lansing, Michigan.
Hey, Suzette. You're here all the time. Thanks for calling.
Michigan. Wow.
Yeah, you know what my story is?
What's your story?
My story is that I have never had a paranormal experience.
Well, thanks for calling and good night.
Never had one, huh? Have you looked for them? Have you looked for them? I think
we hear that, Suzette.
I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you looked for a paranormal experience? Have you gone seeking them?
Yes. And I never get any kind of feeling, or other people that I'm with on hunts seem to have, be touched or hear things, but not me.
Suzette, I can tell you, it happens to me all the time. I've been in places where someone says, like, look, I see a ghost right over there. And I mean, I'm standing right next to them and I go, I'm not calling you a liar, but I don't see it. And I mean, that happens. But I've been doing this since 1997. Right. I've been like actively writing about the paranormal, and I can count on I guess a little more than one hand now, how many times something's happened. The hundreds and hundreds of places I've been, it's so rare. But when it does happen, believe me, I'm the biggest skeptic. I'm like, what could it have been? But when I run out of, when I run out of explanations, like what's left is, holy cow, maybe I saw something paranormal.
Well, I will keep hunting.
Please. And I hope to see you in Michigan this August.
Definitely. I will be there.
All right. Thanks, Suzette. Thanks so much. Good to hear from you.
All right. Night.
All right.
I've been in situations, Jeff, and I haven't gone on as many as you have, but I've had situations where I've gone somewhere assuming I will see something or hear something. And when you don't, it is...
Did that just through
thank you, right? It is. It's good, right? This lighting, I just found this lighting after like 10 minutes trying to fix it. Thank you, Jay. I'm leaving it like this. Look, you can see my nice green eyes now.
Right.
Anyway, we went to the Uxbridge Town Hall, which is supposedly supposed to be really haunted. Jay was with me on that, and we didn't find anything. But can I tell you a really quick story?
You can.
Before the phone rings?
Sure.
So we all have walkie-talkies. Half of the team are upstairs in the attic, the other half downstairs. And we're talking to somebody, and all of a sudden we hear screaming on the walkie-talkie, screaming like someone's dying. We run downstairs. We're like, did you hear that? I didn't hear that. What was that? We're upstairs, and all of a sudden we heard screaming. The batteries were going low in the walkie-talkies, and it was just making this weird sound. Yeah, that's all.
It squelched like that. Weird.
Yes, I was so disappointed.
Oh, I know.
I wanted that to be real.
I remember when you and I went to the Conjuring House for our Halloween podcast of New England Legends. Let's put a shameless plug up for that. Like, there it is. Like the New England Legends show. It was cool. Like, we got to go there, and for people that Ray, if you don't know, I mean, hopefully you know, Ray and I have been co-hosting this thing for like 2.5 years, and we got to go there, and I remember you were so giddy, and I forgot. I mean, I'd been there a few times, so I already got my first time jitters out. And you were just like, wow, man, this is like the place. And you've seen the movie and you know the story, and you kind of half expect something to happen, right? I mean,
you do, yeah. And I actually sat at the table alone in the dining room, and I was trying to get an EVP, so I was asking questions. I had my phone out, and nothing was happening. But then when you guys joined me, That's when something happened. That's when something fell, or was leaning on the wall and then fell the other way. And we caught that on video, but I didn't get any EVPs.
All right. Our phone lines are open. 617-444-9683. If you want to give us a ring, jump on in. Tell us a story. Ask how we're doing. Tell us how you're doing. I know one of the things that's been so good about this is that it's been a social thing for people. I know people have talked about how the speakeasy makes them feel like they're doing something social. Yeah. They're participating in something, and that's great. That's why I do it, right? I want to talk to people and I want to be connected. And so, these aren't all good days. I know we smile and laugh, and that's good too, but some days it's just not.
I think we're looking for ways to connect with people.
Yep.
Oh, thank you, Carl. We're looking for ways to connect and entertain, especially like people like you and I, Jeff.
Yeah.
Who have somewhat of a voice. Can you put my Facebook page up?
I can. Sorry.
Real quick. No, that's
all
okay.
These things at once. There he is. There's Ray.
So on Friday nights, I've been doing a little kind of variety interview show at 7:00. So if you guys want to follow me on Facebook there, give me a friend request, then watch that on Friday nights. It's fun.
Right,
I have a musical act. I do a random guy from blank. So I had a random guy from Cleveland on last week, and this week I have a random guy from Minneapolis on.
All right.
I know nothing about the city. That's why I'm having him on.
Well, Prince, of course.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, go friend Ray. He's all good. And if you want to call in, share your story. We love it. Carl's in England and he's probably been drinking for hours, but I don't know if you can make international calls. I was told, so it's a Google Voice number. I don't know if how that works, but
what does it start with? It's not an 800.
Well, it's a 617 number. It's like a regular. I think it's like a regular number for us.
Yeah, but how much is an international call in 2020?
I don't know.
Do you remember when you had to call like your girlfriend from student exchange?
Right.
When you were like 17 years old and your parents nearly killed you because you were on the phone for 3 minutes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh, it was $75 for that 3-minute call.
Did you have the signal where you'd ring your grandparents once and it would let it ring one time?
Yeah.
And then hang up and they would call you back because they had money and you didn't?
I also grew up with only 5 digits if I wanted to call somebody in town.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have to do so. My home was 508-885-33, 2 more numbers. Doesn't matter. You're not going to call it. But I would just call 88. It would be 5 and then the 4 numbers. And that would connect me to anybody in that exchange.
My grandparents, when you were in town in Southbridge, was 4. They're dead now, so you can call this all you want. 44758. That was it. That's all you need.
Right.
Yeah. And that was and then came the full number, and then came area code and full number, and now we just text. So,
and Kurt Loder is 75 years old.
Kurt Loder,
if you want to feel old.
In fairness, he wasn't a spring chicken when MTV started. He was like the elder.
He was the old guy on that show.
He was. That was kind of the point.
But 75 years old.
Yeah. Thank you. I think these will continue post quarantine. I don't know if I'm going to do 3 a week, but I have really enjoyed bringing different people together and talking to them and interacting with you guys. And so, I have no doubt
this format will stick around. I'm sure it will.
It's too fun. It allows us to do too many things.
And now you have celebrities using it. I guess Daniel Radcliffe was reading Harry Potter books to people. Now, those guys aren't busy right now. They're stuck inside like we are.
Right.
But it is cool to see a celebrity do something. Like John Krasinski from The Office is doing some good news. And that's pretty. I hope he continues to do that.
For sure. So call us, guys. The lines are open, 617-444-9683. So just so you know, I keep looking down just to kind of let you know into what's going on. I have to put it on Do Not Disturb or off Do Not Disturb on my phone, and it then rings to the web, and then we answer it, and there's a little rodent running on a wheel right next to it that somehow makes that go.
That's what you're doing. I'm just looking at Facebook messages.
Any story from Chicago? Carol, I've been to Chicago a lot. And I can tell you the Resurrection Mary story is one of my favorite ghost stories in America. Really,
tell me about it.
She haunts the South Side on Archer Avenue in Justice, Illinois, which is just outside of Chicago. And it's the story. The story goes back to like the 1940s, where people will see this woman hitchhiking somewhere along Archer Avenue between Resurrection Cemetery, thus the name Resurrection Mary, and the Willowbrook Ballroom, which is up the road. And there's a little dive bar, which is being far too kind. If they fix this place up, it could be a real crap hole, right? So Chet's Melody Lounge, right across from, and I've been in there. Chet's Melody Lounge.
Is Chet still around?
Probably. And people stumble in the bar and go, I just saw a woman in the street and then she was gone. And like, it's such a common sighting. And they sell t-shirts on the walls. And Ray, the first time I went in there, it was like 11 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, which is a really important part of the story. So it was a sunny day and the door opens, right? And you know, vampires, when the sun hits them, you know that?
Yeah.
There's a couple guys at the bar and the door opens, the sun hits and they just, they wince away. And the bartender only had a couple of teeth and he goes, our house specialty is a Bloody Mary. You want one? And I'm like, yeah, I want a Bloody Mary at 11 a.m. on a Wednesday in Chicago. You crazy? And so he pours it and I take a sip. Ray, it was the single worst Bloody Mary I've ever had in my entire life. And he's like, huh? What do you think? And so the funny thing is, like, he pulls out this big jug of salsa and he goes, I put this in it. Nobody's doing that. And I was like,
good reason.
No, nobody puts lighter fluid in it either. Like, come on, you know? So
I love those places that think they have the specialty because no one else is doing it. You got to come here. We got the Bloody Mary with the tar in it. It's a liquid tar that we use.
Hey, 508 who just called us, call back because I messed up.
What'd you do?
I had
you had it on silent, didn't you? Or
I had it go to voicemails. Call back 508. Try again. Call us 617-444-9683. So sorry. That was my bad, man. No wonder no one was getting through. I had it turned off. Sorry about that. We're learning as we go here for sure. Joy wants to know, Edmond Town Hall, is it haunted? That's in Newtown, Connecticut, where I grew up. And I know Joy was there too. I believe a year or two older than me. So the town hall is this great old building, and it had a movie theater. Ray, we could see movies for $2.
Whoa!
And that was those were epic days back then. And
let's not talk about movie ticket prices because that's a whole other conversation.
Come on, 508, call back. You're almost in. I swear. This thing, it's weird. It like buzzes here, and then we get it on the ring.
Let's tell everybody that this is the first time you've used this.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it all out. So.
It's a whole new technology. This is a whole new ball game if you can figure this out.
Here we go. All right, we got it. There's the 508. Hello from the 508. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, Jeff. It's Jen from Taunton. How are you?
Jen from Taunton. I'm sitting on a rainbow. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. I tried calling a few minutes ago, but it went right to that voicemail.
Because I messed up. It's not your fault. It's completely mine. It's good help is impossible to find. Let me just say that.
Yes, and hi there, Ray. Right? Is that your name, Ray?
That's my name. It says it right on the screen.
Okay, I don't know. I'm on my cell phone, so I can't really look at the screen.
Gotcha.
So I have a story. It's from Stoughton, Massachusetts, where I grew up. Now, my grandmother's house was built in 1858, right. I believe. It's now torn down, but so when I was about 10 years old, there was a ghost named Charlie. He was very, very playful, and he just liked to mess around with everybody. And I never saw him until I was about 12. And then I was sitting upstairs, and I heard a door open and shut, and somebody walking up the stairs. And I said, hello, who's there? And nobody answered. So I went to the stairs to check, and there was nobody there. So I kind of brushed it off. I'm like, okay, whatever. It was probably just somebody playing a joke or something. And it happened again. And I'm like, okay, this is really strange. It freaked me out because I was 12. So I ran downstairs, and I didn't want to be upstairs.
Right.
So then I played. I did whatever I wanted to. And then later at nighttime, when I was in bed upstairs, I opened my eyes, and there was a black mass hovering over the bed, shaking the bed violently. And I covered my face in the blanket, put the pillow over my head because I was afraid that it was going to get me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, please go away, like really loud. I'm like, go away. I don't want to see you anymore. Leave me alone. And it kept shaking the bed. And then finally I said, go away, really loud. And it left. It went away.
Huh.
And then after that, I didn't see it anymore. So I don't know what it was. It was strange.
And had anyone else in your family seen anything, or?
My aunt did, yes.
Oh,
yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, the house had been torn down. There's a new house there now, and I so badly just want to go in there and be like, knock on their door and ask them if they're having that same experience that I'm having.
Yeah. Oh God, I know, right?
From there. But you know, you can't.
Yeah, no, don't,
be
because
great.
like with everybody, you knock on the door, you're like, hey, when I was a kid there, like the house was so terribly haunted, I was petrified to sleep. How you guys doing? I gotta go.
No, the house was a brothel. So like back then, so I don't know what was going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it also had a really weird closet. It was really deep.
Right.
And my grandmother used to tell me that they left coffins in there.
Huh.
And that's what they used to do in the olden days, is they used to leave coffins in the deep closet.
Right.
Wow. I never heard of that.
It was really strange.
Very cool. Cool story. Well, thanks for calling and sharing that. And hopefully the new owners aren't petrified.
I hope they are. It'd be pretty cool to see.
It would be.
I will see you tomorrow night in Bellingham.
You will. I mean,
Zoom.
virtually. So yes, I'm at the Bellingham Library. Awesome. Well, thank you. Good. Thanks for
I will
calling.
see you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank
take
you,
care.
Ray. Thank you, Jeff. Have a good night.
You too. Yes.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
How come every playful ghost is named Charlie?
You know what? Now that you say it, Charlie is kind of a common name, isn't it?
Isn't it?
You're about
It's
like
right. I'm not crazy, right?
There's Charlie the Ghost at the in Cranston, Rhode Island, the governor's mansion, the Sprague Mansion. There's Charlie the Ghost,
a playful ghost, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's. Wow.
And then if it's a creepy colonial kid, his name is Nathaniel.
Right, some long multi-syllable thing. It's not just like Chuck or Dave or John. Yeah.
So you're in Bellingham tomorrow. That's around my neck of the woods.
The Bellingham Public Library is having me virtually. I checked before we started tonight. There are literally 2 seats left. It's virtual seats, and we're getting a call. Hello from the 217. Who's this? Where are you from?
This is Leslie Haslam. I'm originally from California, but I live in Quincy, Illinois.
Quincy, Illinois. Well, thanks for calling, Leslie. What's going on?
You know who I am, Jeff.
I know, from Ghost World Conference. I saw your comments earlier. Nice to hear from you.
Good. I'm glad you kind of remembered.
Yeah.
And my crazy busted up hand on the Queen Mary. That was the first time we got to meet in person.
So I've been on the Queen Mary many times. So
I know, but
yeah.
It was the time that Leslie busted her hand.
You kept trying to high five me with it.
It does sound like me.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to give you reminders.
Fair enough.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got a lot of different ghost stories, but I'll do one from Ghost World, I guess.
Okay.
The conference up there.
Ghost World was in Gettysburg, for those who don't know, way back. Oh, God, I don't even know. 2008, maybe?
Somewhere around there, I think.
Okay.
It's been a while for me, too. But went out there with a bunch of my friends, my daughter and I. 2 of my friends, one from Ghost Village, one was a friend of mine from California, and then Dave Mackey and Julie from Ghost Village also were out there.
Yeah.
And yeah. So Dave was out in this cornfield, and he kept telling me to come on out here in the cornfield. I kept seeing, you know how I am, I kept seeing like a hospital tent. It was a big whitish canvas tent out in this cornfield. And I kept asking Dave, I said, was there like a hospital over here somewhere? And he says, from what he'd heard, there had been hospitals all over the place. There very well could have been one right there. I said, well, this is what I'm seeing. And I said, there's this lady over here that's bothering me, but she was talking to my daughter. You could also see her.
Right.
And we were getting messages from her that they didn't want him in there anymore. They didn't like him there videoing. Because he was constantly videoing and recording in there.
Right.
And I go over to tell Dave, and I'm explaining it to him that, you know, she doesn't want you in here anymore. You know, she was wearing kind of a white hospital nursing looking outfit from back then. It was kind of hard to tell exactly. She did have blood down the front. And she was very upset and screaming at us and carrying on. And I explained it to Dave and that, and then we went on and did a bunch of other things. I got hung over there too at one point. It was kind of interesting, and I didn't like that. It was over by Sachs Bridge, okay?
Right.
There was a
and now this is with your psychic abilities. You're experiencing this, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I have full blown crazy abilities, which drive me crazy. So we'd walked over in another area over there after the cornfield, and there was this tree I kept looking at and going, this is really kind of weird to me. I'm seeing a bunch of gentlemen. I also smelled dead bodies.
Okay.
It was horrible. My friends
that might have been me, in all fairness.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Excuse me.
You had too many beers, I think.
Yeah. Too much Skyline chili or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been. But my friends walked in and I said, you don't smell that? Oh my God, there's something dead over here. And I'm looking around looking for maybe a dead animal. And she's, I don't smell anything. I don't smell anything. I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. This is horrible. And as I'm walking over towards this tree, there were a bunch of gentlemen I could see there. I think they were Confederate and hanging Union soldiers at this tree. And my experience was my neck got hung. I got snapped and it hurt. And I had a sore throat and a very sore neck still the next day.
Yeah.
And I told my friends, they were like, you're kidding. I said, no. And I'm going to Dave. I said, do you know if anyone had gotten hung in this tree? And he says, I'm not sure. Well, there were a few people that came walking up on a little tour type thing behind us. So, 10 minutes later or so. And they said, and this was, considered one of the hanging trees back over in here. And I just hollered at Dave. I said, I think this was.
Right.
But anyway, we get back that night in our hotel rooms, and Dave calls me about midnight. And he says, listen to this. And he puts it up to the phone. And you hear Dave and I talking. And during my telling him this about the woman in there, a voice comes in the middle, and she stopped. And when I finished speaking, at the end of it, you hear clear as a bell, we don't need you here.
Wow. That's cool. Very cool.
It was way too cool. It just about blew my mind.
Yeah. Very cool.
And leaving Gettysburg was not an easy task either, because they came, they were all in my room at one point that night, because we were right across from the big cemetery area.
Yeah, right. No, it's such a town, such an historic town. Leslie, thank you for calling and sharing that story.
Oh, sure.
Good to hear from you.
And good to hear from you too. It's been a long time, and always enjoy trying to catch your stuff and see what's going on.
All right. Thanks. Take care.
All right. You take care. You too.
Right.
All right.
Very cool.
He's such a rock star.
Listen, Ray.
Got groupies all over the world.
Wow.
No, I'm jealous.
Come on, you're a singer in like 8 bands. Don't people throw underwear at you? I mean, that's not my underwear at you.
I have your underwear. You can't see it. It's out of frame, but it is pinned to the wall. I felt like something was happening outside of my door, and I thought one of the kids was coming in, and there was nobody there. So that's why I kept looking around, because I keep hearing things, but it could just be the conversation.
All right. Well, our lines are open, 617-444-9683. We have time for a couple more calls. This has been fun. Earlier today, I'm like, I don't know. What if no one calls? But you guys have.
I did. Yeah.
This is really enjoyable. I like hearing your stories. I like people, because so many people have one. I like that when people tell you like, oh, this stuff's all crap or whatever. And then they go pull you aside and they say, but there was this one time. And you go ahead.
Well, I think anything that's unexplainable is an experience.
Yeah.
And two things when I was a kid. We broke into a house that was for sale, and there was nobody in the house. And we must have been 12 or 13. Oh, go ahead. I'll tell us at the end.
All right. Hello from the 570. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, Jeff. It's Cecilia. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Hello from Scranton, Pennsylvania, Cecilia. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Hey, I love that you're doing this. This is great.
Thanks.
I saw 2 shadow people at Eastern State Penitentiary.
Yeah, in Philadelphia. That's quite a place. Yeah.
It's like really great. We were there for a few years. God, it was back when Jason and Grant were doing ghost hunts events.
Right.
And I went and
sorry, hold on.
They were like, okay.
No, we had to.
You lose you.
They're just coming in. We'll have to just let that one go on. Go ahead.
Okay. So there were 2 girls and me. We took off. We didn't know each other. And we left the larger group and we went down in the basement. And it was around 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were down there for a long time. And we were getting a lot of like flashlight stuff going on, which was really cool. But when it started to calm down, we decided, oh, we better get out there. We're going to get locked in the prison because we weren't supposed to be there that long and stuff. So we were walking down that long road, and it was deserted, and like nobody's around anywhere. So we really thought we got locked in. And all of a sudden, we see two big guys far away from us coming towards us. And we're like, oh my God, security, they're going to kick us out. We're in trouble. So they start coming towards us. We keep going towards them. And all of a sudden we get in sight, like very close. And you couldn't see any clothes. You couldn't see any skin. They were just like 6 feet tall, total black. And they came straight towards us. They stopped. We stopped. The one girl grabbed the flashlight out of my hand, ran up towards them, and started yelling at them. The other girl ran back the way we came because I guess she was scared and didn't know what to do.
Right.
And I just stood there. And that's it. We just stood there. I don't even know how long. And then all of a sudden, the two of them looked at each other. Now, you couldn't see features or anything, but they looked at each other. They looked back towards the way they came. And then they looked over at the wall of the prison and they ran straight into the wall and disappeared.
Wow. That's very cool. What a cool story and what a cool place. I mean, this is where the word penitentiary comes from, right? I mean, this was the original, everything was solitary confinement. You were meant to be penitent for your sins. And it's just so old and decrepit. You can only imagine what it must be like to be a prisoner there when you walk through those halls, especially at night, which sounds like both of us have had the opportunity to do that. So
yeah,
really cool.
Place.
Awesome.
Love to go back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, and have a great night.
Yep, you too. Bye.
Ray, please finish your story before I open the lines for one more.
Okay. Where was I?
You were
breaking into a house at like 12 or 13 in the neighborhood, and there was like 4 or 5 of us, and we're just running around the house, whatever, doing dumb kid stuff.
Mhm.
And one of us left a light on in the basement, and we noticed when we left the house. So one of us drew the short straw. That was me. I had to go back in through the window, downstairs, shut the light off. 12 years old. I'm coming up the stairs and I feel what a whoosh, like what no sound, but what a whoosh would feel like on my back. And I ran so fast up the stairs and I literally, like a cartoon, dove out the window.
Right.
And my friends are like, what's going on? What happened? I felt something. I know I felt something.
Yeah.
And then there was a second time where one of my friends was killed on the railroad tracks riding a dirt bike.
Oh my.
Very traumatic. Again, 12, 13 years old.
By a bike or just like a horrible accident?
Well, he fell off the bike and then they didn't move him fast enough. So he got hit by the train.
God, yikes.
Horrible. Yeah. Riding on my bike just to be alone and process the whole thing. I'm riding my bike and whoosh. That's right. That was a sound. I heard my name in the wind. Just heard it. Yeah. And I remember turning my bike around and pedaling. I'm getting goosebumps. Pedaling so fast back home because that scared the hell out of me. But looking back, I don't know. It was my name in the wind. It could have been Joey, who had just died earlier that day. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't it funny how like you hear other people's stories and it triggers something in you where you're like, you know what? You start going, well, yeah, I have 1 or 2 experiences. And like a few more come up and you're like, oh, and then there was that time. And you know, when you take stock of all the weirdness, it really does add up. And I love that people are sharing it because I think that's the most important part. We're going to open the lines. I think we have time for one more. 617-444-9683. That's our legend line. You know, you can call or text that number anytime, Ray. Did you know that?
I did know that. Tell them about closing out our show.
Yes. So the New England Legends podcast, we always ended with the bizarre is closer than you think. And we started asking you to leave that on our voicemail. And so for the last, well, not recently because of the quarantine, but for like 30 plus episodes, someone different would say like, hi, this is Jeff from Boston, Massachusetts. And until next time, the bizarre is closer than you think. If you want to do that, we would love it. Just call that number like after this tonight or anytime tomorrow and just leave that on our voicemail. We love it. We'll pop it at the end of our podcast, which should be back. We should hopefully be back in like 2 weeks. We're hoping. With all new episodes. Until then, we're kind of reintroducing you to some old episodes. We're still doing stuff with our Patreon patrons, which has been cool. Patreon,
we're doing the extras.
We're doing extras for them. And it's one of those one of these labors of love that we just keep on keeping on. And I'm glad we got to do this tonight. This was fun. It was fun to hear from people. If anyone else wants to sneak in, what's really weird, Ray, no one can see this, but you're gonna have to take my word for it. So on my phone, I'll turn off the do not disturb so the lines are open, and then like it'll say like missed call, and I don't know what to do. If you just called, try again. That's all I can say.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's all we can do is try, and I appreciate everybody's patience. But I'm glad we got to get a bunch of people on.
Yeah, it was great hearing from people.
Yeah,
this is new to me too. I've been using this StreamYard.
Yep,
and I had no idea we could take phone calls. I had no idea that we could add YouTube videos like you showed me earlier today. That was very cool too.
Yeah, for sure. And so, we should do this again. Like we can.
Oh, you know what we should do? We could show that footage from the Conjuring house.
We do have
if
that.
I get it up on YouTube.
Yes.
Next time we do this.
We could. Well, what do you think? Maybe like every 2 weeks or something, we do kind of like a call-in special and people share.
It's your show, man. I'm happy to be on it.
No, I know, but I like, I like having you, and I miss you in person. I miss your scent. I miss the way you smell.
My musk.
Your musk. When I would walk in and like, I'd be like, I wouldn't even see you yet. I'd be like, Ray.
Ray's here.
Ray's here. I missed that. I do.
How okay, so tell me this. How long have you gone without taking a shower during this quarantine?
1 day. Like that's it.
Really?
Like, I got to shower every day. I just do.
3.
3, huh?
3 days.
Well, all right. Well,
yeah.
What are you up to right now?
2. I could go. Hi,
no,
Tina.
I got to do it every day. Do you know Tina?
No, I don't.
Well,
I know her now.
Yeah, there's been
watch movies. We could do that. We could just sit here and watch a movie.
We could. I'm not sure the legality of it, but whatever. Yeah, we'll do it. We will do it again. We'll definitely do this again. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks everybody for who called in. And sorry that we missed a few of you, but we'll do this again sometime for sure.
And by the way, we are always looking for sponsors, right? So I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yeah,
Captain's daughter from
Corona. You need to repair your image.
That's right. They should be spending some money right now wherever they can.
Right. Oh God, I love it. Hey, and also Friday night, everybody, on the Speakeasy, my guest is Amy Bruni from Kindred Spirits. She'll be slumming it with me. I'll bet you a donut she's drinking wine because that Amy likes her wine.
That's her thing. Yeah. What did I just see about Elvira?
I don't know. Is she okay?
What was the last? No, the last thing you posted. You just threw up there. One of the listener comments.
Oh, here it is. Sorry.
I thought I saw it. Would love to see Elvira on here. Right. So I watched Elvira's movie and I gave up a half hour in.
Oh, that's rude.
What was the name of it?
I don't know. Hey, John, I love that you think I'm that connected. I really do.
No, you know what though? I think it'd be pretty easy to get Elvira on right now.
I mean, if anyone knows, I'll ask. I have no problem.
She's in your world. She's in your circle.
Sort of. Like, it's funny. I mean, I think I told you, right? Boy George follows me on Twitter. I don't know why. Like, whatever.
Not in your circle, I don't think. Not as much as Elvira would be.
No, but like, I'll send him a message on Twitter and be like, hey, man, you want to do this speakeasy? Because, like, how cool would it be to have Boy freaking George?
Sure. I bet you he has some experiences he could talk about. He just seems like the kind of guy that could get behind what you're talking about.
That was my thought. I was like, okay, how many interviews have you done about like Culture Club and your music and being a DJ and like, this cultural icon? Let's talk about ghost stories. Like that. It's my only hope. Is he'd be like, you know what? I haven't answered those questions a billion times. Let's do this. Let's talk about ghosts. So yeah, I'll ask anybody. Hey, if you guys have suggestions on anyone that you want to see on here, I
want to see Jay Pillarella.
Is that how you pronounce it? I never knew.
Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. That's right. One of Jay's favorite movies, he'll tell you.
Yes.
Well, he'll say it's pretty darn good. And I just couldn't get through it. I mean, I could watch it for certain reasons. Yeah. But after a half hour, it got a little boring.
You watched it for 2 reasons.
2 reasons. 2 great reasons.
2 great reasons. All right. We got to get out of here. We're running over. All right. Thank you, guys.
I'm running out of battery.
Great seeing you all. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Until next time, please don't forget. Wait, we got to do this little sponsorship. Please don't forget to take it easy. Appreciate you.